Monero value equivalent to 2,410.91 rands a coin. The present cost range 2,322.53, 2,483.53. The earlier day close 2,466.16. The change was 55.25, 2.24%. Backwards rate ZAR to XMR. Monero cost expectation for August 2024. At the outset, cost at 1,723 rands. Excessive cost 28 at 62, while low cost 1,618. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1,736. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 1,740, change for August 10%. Monero figure for September 2024. Initially cost at 1,740 rands. Excessive cost 1,772, while low cost 1,540. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1,677. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 1,656, change for September 48%. Monero cost expectation for October 2024. First and foremost cost at 1,656 rands. Exorbitant cost 1,762, while low cost 1,532. They found the middle value of cost 1,649. Monero cost estimate toward the month's end 1,647, change for October's on 5%. Monero estimate for November 2024. First and foremost cost at 1,647 rands. Exorbitant cost 2040, while low cost 1,647. They found the middle value of cost 1,810. Monero cost estimate toward the month's end 19.7, change for November 15.8%. Monero cost expectation for December 2024. To start with cost at 19.7 rands. Exorbitant cost 2096, while low cost 1,080.22. They found the middle value of cost 1946. Monero cost gauge toward the month's end 1959, change for December 27%. Monero gauge for January 2025. To start with cost at 1959 rands. Exorbitant cost 1970, while low cost 1,712. They found the middle value of cost 1,871. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 1,841, change for January 6%. Monero cost expectation for February 2025. At the outset cost at 1,841 rands. Excessive cost 1,841, while low cost 1,559. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1,729. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 1,676, change for February 9%. Monero conjecture for walk 2025. At the outset cost at 1,676 rands. Excessive cost 1972, while low cost 1,676. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1,792. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 1,843, change for spring 10%. Monero cost expectation for April 2025. Before all else cost at 1,843 rands. Excessive cost 1988, while low cost 1,728. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1,854. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 1,858, change for April's 8%. Monero figure for May 2025. Initially cost at 1,858 rands. Excessive cost 2019, while low cost 1,755. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1,880. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 1,887, change for May 6%. Monero cost expectation for June 2025. At the outset cost at 1,887 rands. Excessive cost 2046, while low cost 1,778. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 19.6. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 1912, change for June 3%. Monero conjecture for July 2025. At the outset cost at 1912 rands. Excessive cost 1912, while low cost 1,587. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1,779. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 1,706, change for July 10.8%. Monero cost expectation for August 2025. Initially cost at 1,706 rands. Excessive cost 21,818, while low cost 1,706. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1,877. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 1979, change for August 16%. Monero figure for September 2025. Initially cost at 1979 rands. Excessive cost 2149, while low cost 1867. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 2001. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 2008. Change for September 15%. Monero cost expectation for October 2025. Before all else cost at 28 rands. Excessive cost 2008, while low cost 1670. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1871. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 1796. Change for October 6%. Monero figure for November 2025. Initially cost at 1796 rands. Excessive cost 1973, while low cost 1715. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1832. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 1844. Change for November 7%. Monero cost expectation for December 2025. Initially cost at 1844 rands. Excessive cost 2066, while low cost 1796. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 99. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 1931. Change for December 7%. Monero figure for January 2026. Before all else cost at 1931 rands. Excessive cost 2G53, while low cost 1785. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 1922. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 1919. Change for January 26%. Monero cost expectation for February 2026. Before all else cost at 1919 rands. Excessive cost 2382, while low cost 1919. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 2112. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 2226. Change for February 16%. Monero conjecture for walk 2026. At the outset cost at 2226 rands. Excessive cost 204020, while low cost 2104. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 2253. Monero cost conjecture toward the month's end 2262. Change for spring 16%. Monero cost expectation for April 2026. Initially cost at 2262 rands. Excessive cost 2262, while low cost 1921. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 2828. Monero cost figure toward the month's end 2066. Change for April 87%. Monero figure for May 2026. To start with cost at 2066 rands. Exorbitant cost 2410. While low cost 2066. They found the middle value of cost 21.99. Monero cost